versus supporters of the regime. It is the story of a revolt fighting for survival. Early Wednesday morning, 2nd of February. For over a week now, ordinary Egyptians have been protesting against the regime of President Hosni Mubarak.
We're not going away. People were killed. Our martyrs gave their lives for us. They didn't die for nothing. We want results. Those responsible for their deaths, the interior minister, even Mubarak, must go on trial.
Tahrir Square, meaning liberation, has become the headquarters for protesters adamant that they will stay right here until the president leaves office.
We have no choice now. We can't turn back, because if Mubarak stays in power, we're all going to have serious problems.
Early morning, thousands more gather in Tahrir Square. Men, women, and even children. By mid-morning, Liberation Square is two-thirds full.
The people are with us. The entire Arab world supports us. We're going to drum up more support with nothing but our hands, in a very peaceful way, without a drop of blood. Unlike Mubarak and his criminal regime, we're going to force him out, make him quit.
La tension commence à monter, vraiment. Là, je vois deux personnes qui sont en train de se disputer violemment. On essaie d'évacuer les blessés derrière les chars.
A few streets away, a very different crowd has gathered. For the first time, protesters in favor of Hosni Mubarak are making their voices heard.
Yes, we need change in Egypt, but this is not the way. We don't know who's behind this protest. If I join the protest, does that mean I support Mohammed el-Baradei or other people I don't know?
The president did what you wanted. He changed the government and he named a prime minister that you all love. You asked for Omar Suleiman. Now you have to be patient with our government.
Pro-Mubaraks decide to head for Liberation Square.
They were still sucking on their mother's breast when Mubarak was flying a fighter jet, and he controlled the entire army. So these protesters can just get the hell out.
It's over. It's finished. We're going to force them to leave.
With thousands of pro-Mubaraks determined to remove protesters by force, a large-scale confrontation seems inevitable. And while anti-Mubarak protesters continue to gather on Liberation Square, the news reaches them that supporters of the regime are on their way. For protection, a human chain forms all around the square, undeterred by military helicopters up above, while others paint the slogan of the day.
I'm optimistic. Mubarak's going to leave. Whoever comes after him, that's not what matters. What matters is that he leaves, after 30 years of injustice and fear.
Go on, tell them your dream for the future.
I hope the government will leave us alone. I hope they all leave.
Our country is on its knees. There's corruption everywhere, extortion by police and government. We're suffocating. We can't live anymore. I want everyone to know this. Name of my family, my relatives, my neighbours. Everybody's behind this revolution.
Ils nous demandent de montrer ce qui se passe, parce que pour eux c'est très grave ce qui se passe là. Ils nous disent nous sommes venus manifester pacifiquement et en contrepartie on se fait violemment agresser.
The fight breaks out early afternoon as pro-Mubaraks near Liberation Square. On the other side of the huge roundabout, anti-Mubaraks continue to file in, but rumors of a clash have them worried. This is what is happening several hundred meters away on the main avenue leading into Tahrir. Pro-Mubaraks, on horse and camelback, charge into the crowd, wielding sticks, metal bars, even knives. Those who are caught are immediately lynched. Many of the so-called supporters of the regime turn out to be plainclothes policemen, as stated on these ID cards. It becomes clear the government has decided to quell the protests by force.
It's just terrible. That's just not right.
So protesters fight back. Scenes of a civil war. Anti-Mubaraks stand their ground, sensing that the future of their revolution might just depend on their ability to keep control of Liberation Square today.
It's crazy. I can't believe it. In just 2 minutes, the whole thing went crazy.
2 minutes turn into an hour of brutal clashes, and still the army does nothing. Soldiers hold up inside their tanks. In the midst of the chaos, one man continues to pray, but not for long. He's hit by a rock.
Why are you all saying God is great? This has nothing to do with God.
The wounded are carried away, but there's nowhere to go and no one to treat them. Back on the front line, anti and pro-Mubaraks are now just a few meters apart.
This is Mubarak's fault. They're attacking us. They want to kill us all. These people are not real Mubarak supporters. They work for the government.
The Mubarak camp tries another strategy, using this truck as a Trojan horse. But it doesn't get very far.
We're stuck here. What can we do? We're just defending ourselves.
Mais je peux vous dire et vous assurer qu'ils sont complètement dépassés l'armée. Pour le moment, ils ne comptent pas intervenir. D'après ce que m'a dit ce jeune militaire, il me dit, nous on est là, on regarde et on essaye de sécuriser les manifestants.
Every road leading into Liberation Square is now guarded by anti-Mubarak protesters. The injured are treated right there and then on the ground. Ambulances can't get near here. So those who need urgent attention have to be evacuated on foot. And the army doesn't lift a finger.
Mubarak, get out! Get out, Mubarak, get out!
Late afternoon, time for another prayer, while fighting continues just down the road. After nightfall, gunshots can be heard. The army fires warning shots to disperse the crowds. Yet the fighting continues throughout the night. And by daybreak, the regime's foot soldiers have been pushed back. Protesters have gained the high ground around Liberation Square. By mid-morning, only a handful of pro-Mubarak supporters are left in the street, and even those are retreating. By midday, they're gone.
I promise with people, I promise that I am president only just 5 months. After 5 months, I don't like to stay president again.
After almost 2 days of intense fighting, the anti-Mubaraks have managed to hold their ground without any protection or help. On Thursday afternoon, protesters rejoice. They've won an important battle, and Liberation Square will continue to be the headquarters of Egypt's largest protest movement in decades.